What's going on, Everly Sports? Back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Gary Trent Jr. As today, Gary Trent Jr. opted into his $18.5 million player option for the 2023-2024 season. And I think this is a really good thing for the Raptors and Trent. Trent's 24 years of age. He'll be 25 at the start of the calendar year, the new calendar year in 2024. And, in my opinion, I think Trent is definitely a very good player. He's a solid player, and I think him and the Raptors, I really do believe that they will, I think they will come to an agreement on an extension this summer, this offseason, when they're eligible to do so at the beginning of July. But this was a move that I think a lot of people did not expect. A lot of people, I think, thought that he would decline this option and probably leave if he declined the option, but he wants to stay in Toronto. And I think, in my opinion, the first thing that really came to my mind was the coach. The coaching was a big, factor into this. I think maybe Nick Nurse was not liked as much by his players as we thought. And I think of everyone to, kind of have that tougher relationship with Nurse is Gary Trent Jr., who was called out publicly by Nurse for being inconsistent and, not playing as hard defense. But in my opinion, Gary Trent Jr. is a baller, and I'm really happy that he chose to stay here with the Raptors. And I do think, though, that Nick Nurse leaving has a, part in this decision for Trent Jr., and I think, if he wanted to stay in Toronto, which, I think he does. Sorry, if he did not want to stay in Toronto, he would not pick up this option because, he could probably get more money elsewhere. He could probably get more term elsewhere and, on a contender and have a starting role and get out of Toronto. So the fact that he's accepting this option, picking it up, opting into this 1 year of this deal and this contract makes me think that he is going to try to come to an agreement on a new deal and stay in Toronto. I think he wants to stay in Toronto. He averaged 17.5 points per game last year, 43.3% from the field, 37% from three, 1.6 steals a game. He obviously has all those tipped passes. He leads the league in some defensive categories. He's a really good and important player for us. I think for Trent Jr., Nick Nurse, I don't think it was a bad, relationship with them, but I think it was just a little bit rocky at some times. I think maybe Gary Trent Jr. didn't appreciate, Nurse calling him out in public, and I think, this could ultimately be really important for the Raptors. I think it will be very important, because, in my opinion, he's a key piece of the bench. Right, he comes off the bench, and he does some really good things. I think that's really, really important. And I think to have Trent coming off the bench, I think it means a lot. I think this means a lot for the Toronto Raptors. This is really important for us. And $18.5 million, Gary Trent Jr. is a solid player. He could average 20 a night for the season with his eyes closed. So I think it makes a lot of sense. It's a good price. But that doesn't, this is just one small step in this off-season road. It's going to be very, entertaining, very busy, and I'll have you guys all covered on that. But this is step one. This is a big step. This is huge, and I'm going to predict that Gary Trent Jr. will sign an extension with the Raptors in July, in the beginning of July, when he's able to. But that's all I got in this video, you guys. Let me know down in the comment section your thoughts on this video. What do you think about Gary Trent Jr. opting into the final year of his contract with the Toronto Raptors? I think this means that he wants to stay in Toronto, and I think Toronto will want him here. And this is very good for the two sides. Draft's coming up in about 48 hours, under 48 hours. I'll have you guys covered on that. I'll have some videos leading up to it. It's a big, important time in Raptors land and Leafs land, and a lot of the teams land that I cover. So stay tuned for all the videos coming up, and as always, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We'll see you guys on the next video, and as always, let's go Raptors.